Welcome to the November episode of County Connection, where we talk about events, programs, and services offered by Summit County Government. I'm Public Affairs Coordinator Julie Suter. We have a great show lined up for you today. We'll be talking about Bustang bus service, SC alert notifications, childcare assistance, and flu shots. Thanks for joining us today. For our first segment of this November episode of County Connection, we are treated to a visit by Mike Timlin, who is the Bustang Operations Manager for the CDOT Division of Transit and Rail. Welcome, Mike.
Thanks, Julie. Thanks for having me up.
Oh, we always love having you come up, and we appreciate that you make it all the way up the hill. So Bustang is a transit service, a bus transit service offered by CDOT, and you launched about a year and a half ago, is that right?
Yeah, it was July of 2015.
All right, so how are things going on the Bustang front?
Well, since the last time that I was up here visiting with you, we passed our first year of service. We were very pleased to say that we exceeded our ridership expectations by about 16,000 riders.
Wow.
We were hoping for about 87,000 we planned for, and we actually got 103,000 people for our first year of service.
Wow. So there's obviously a huge demand out there.
Yes, there is. We've exceeded all of our expectations. We're very pleased to see that. If you go back through the past year, especially on the west line here between Glenwood Springs, Eaglevale, and Frisco into Denver, we surpassed all of our expectations, so much so that in November of last year, we started out with 5-day-a-week service. We expanded to daily service in last November, and the services continue. Riders have continued to flock in.
Excellent. So the overall Bustang system has 3 different legs to it. So there are 2 routes that go north and south along the I-25 corridor from Denver.
Right.
And then Summit County is located along the west route. So let us know again, where are all the various destinations along the west route?
Sure. Well, to start out, our north and south lines are primarily commuter routes for those people who commute into the Denver area from Fort Collins, Loveland, and from Colorado Springs, El Paso County. We have a couple of trips during the mid-afternoon for those people that need to take essential services trips to and from either doctors, shopping, maybe to go to Denver International Airport. The west line is a little bit different. It's not primarily a commuter type run, but it's more geared for people in the mountaintop communities to be able to get to not just Denver, but if they want to go from Glenwood Springs to Eagle, or Glenwood Springs to Vail, or Frisco, and vice versa, for those types of essential trips. Some of the studies we did prior to launching showed that there is some commuting going on between all of the communities within the mountain corridor, and that was how we came up with our mission to make sure that we're connecting the state's largest transit agencies along the Front Range Urban Corridor and the I-70 Mountain Corridor. We're just pleased as heck that it's been as successful as it is. Some of the other things that we're doing right now, we're engaged in we have a partnership going with Colorado State University in Fort Collins, where we're calling it the Rams route. So for the students, the majority of the students there are from the Denver metro area. So we have a Friday, Sunday service to bring the students in. Features guaranteed seating, and of course with our Wi-Fi and everything on board. It's been last year it was, we did very well. This year we made some adjustments to it, and I'm proud to say that we've sold it out now 7 weeks in a row.
Oh my gosh.
The other thing that we're currently doing is in October we did a pilot test of Bustang to Broncos, where we chose 2 games was October 9th against the Broncos and the Atlanta Falcons, and then and then coming up this Sunday, the Broncos and the San Diego Chargers. We had a partnership, collaborated with Denver RTD because they control most of the parking slots in parking lot A at Mile High Stadium, and with the Denver Broncos have been very helpful with us. They see the need, and it's primarily a safety thing. You know, people, there's a number of people who have season tickets in Colorado Springs, in El Paso County, and Larimer County, and this way they don't have to drive their cars, and they can enjoy themselves and not have to worry about driving their cars through the traffic. And so it's been a success. We've sold out both games so far. Because of that, we announced this morning that we're going to continue the service for the rest of the regular season and any playoff games, and then we'll continue next year.
All right. And then for folks in Summit County who may be headed down for a game, they could take
the Bustang that goes every day, right? Any of the trips.
All right. So let's see. You mentioned that there's some expansion in the service available on the West Route. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. As you know, we had our when we started the trip, we started out of Glenwood Springs. That bus comes through Frisco at 9:15 in the morning, gets to Denver about 11:10, and leaves Denver Union Station at 5:40, gets back here at a little after 7. A lot of the feedback we got from the public is they wanted an earlier trip down to Denver for whatever they needed to do and return the same day. So on September 11th, we started a second round trip that originates in Vail, leaves at 7:05, comes through Frisco Transfer Center at 7:40, arrives in Denver at 9:15, and then turns around at 3 o'clock and comes back, stopping in Frisco Transfer Center at 4:40 in the afternoon. That makes a nice, people get home for dinner.
Right.
It's convenient if you're using, you can take, if you're taking the A-line, the new A-line from RTD train out to Denver International Airport, makes it nice and convenient back and forth.
Right. I mean, that is an amazing new development on the transit front, I have to say, that folks in Summit County could take the Summit stage to Frisco Transit Center, hop on the Bustang, and then get on the A-line and get out to DIA without ever stepping foot in the car. Right.
And of course, there's a lot of different choices that Summit County has to get to DIA. We don't, we're not trying to compete with anybody. We see it as an opportunity to assist people who maybe want a little less expensive trip to get there.
Sure, that's great. Let's see, so as you look ahead to the future, I know you guys must have ideas brewing. What can we expect on the horizon?
We always have ideas brewing. Right now, one of the things we're involved in, we've got a couple of things going on, especially in the West Line. Greyhound also operates in this area. Mm-hmm. We're in the process of finalizing an interline type agreement where we can cross ticket with them, so that people have the opportunity to use either Greyhound or Bustang, whatever the convenient time is for them.
Oh, great.
That's coming soon. The other thing is, and another thing that don't be surprised, we were asked by our commission recently to test some day ski service routes from Denver. That'll be coming in 2017, taking the day trippers up from the Front Range up to the Summit and Eagle County resorts. So that'll be, we've been asked to pilot test that, so that'll be coming in early 2017.
Okay, so those pilot trips will be coming this winter?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yep.
All right, that's exciting. So, Mike, is there anything else that you wanted, any Bustang news that you wanted to share with us, or have we covered all the
that's the major stuff right now? But I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that we have, with the second run, we have plenty of seats to get to on the buses, so you don't have to worry about overloads. Although once we get into the heavy peak seasons seasons like Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm sure that they'll be full, but we'll be ready for it with extra buses.
Okay, great. So even if you fill up a bus, you'll bring in
We'll bring in another bus,
one.
absolutely.
Okay. So on the same schedule.
You bet.
All right, great. And lastly, if people are needing to check out the particulars of routes and stops and maps and tickets and all that sort of thing, how do they do that?
They can go to www.ridebustang.com, and you can buy your tickets online or pay cash on the bus. Very
Perfect.
simple.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming in today, Mike. It's great to have you and great to hear about all the developments happening on the Bustang front.
And thank you for having me.
Stick with us. When we come back, we're going to be talking about SC Alert.
Clear.
All right.